What's up guys, it's Ashton here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the potential map changes that could be coming to Apex Legends in Season 4 on World's Edge. If you do go on to enjoy the video, make sure you smash like and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, as you'll all know, Season 4 is very close now, with it only being just over 5 weeks away, and I wanted to talk about the potential map changes we could see coming to World's Edge in Season 4. Now, I know a lot of people want King's Canyon to return in Season 4. I am one of those people as well. However, I don't think after all of the hard work that Respawn have put into making World's Edge, I don't think that they're going to abandon the map after just one season. And I think we are also likely to see some map changes happen, just like we saw in Season 2 of King's Canyon. And I just wanted to discuss those potential map changes and where I would like to see them and what I would like to see happen to the map in Season 4. Of course, it goes without saying that new buildings and new areas to loot will be added into the map in areas which don't already have places to loot. So for example, this could be like along the edge of Capital City, which links round into the fuel depot. We could see a few ambient cars move into the area, or a few loot bins moved into this area to change up the pattern that people land in and the way that people loot in the map. This is what we saw in Season 2 of course as well, where new buildings were added in places which didn't already have them, such as in the cave outside of the cage for example, or in and around the large hilly area just outside containment and the bunker, where a whole new area was added specifically for loot and a respawn beacon. These sort of changes we are definitely 100% going to see in Season 4 in World's Edge, so make sure you're on the lookout for those. But right now I'm going to go into some of the changes I would personally like to see and I can definitely potentially see happening in Season 4 of Apex Legends. Now the first change I would like to see, and I really do think will happen in Season 4, is that the construction sites in Capital City will be advanced, or they will be built up into actually full buildings. Just as time has passed in real life, time has also obviously passed in the Apex universe, and in between the games or the start of the new season, I do think that these two buildings will have been constructed into full skyscraper buildings, or just the full buildings that they were meant to be whilst they were being constructed in Season 3, and I think that this could really change up the way that Capital City is played, as a lot of people jump to these two buildings as there's a lot of loot inside and there's also a lot of people that drop there, so you can often get a lot of kills by dropping into these two buildings. They're also very fun to traverse, as you can climb all the way up the side poles and obviously the zip lines, and there's always some really good vertical battles going on in these buildings. Now, if these two buildings are to change in Season 4, I think we could likely see some staircases put in them to replace the zip lines that would likely be removed if they are built up into full buildings. And of course, we won't be able to climb up those side poles on the side of the buildings anymore, so I do expect more ways to be able to get up and down the building. And I do expect these buildings to still be very hot drops for Capital City, but it could just change up the way they're played, and it's something that I'd personally really like to see, as these two buildings can get a little bit old and a little bit boring if you are fighting in them every single game. There's always about 4 or 5 teams in and around these buildings, and personally I would just like to see that change a little bit so that the whole of Capital gets a little bit more love in general. Now the second change I would like to see in Season 4 is the removal of this specific tower in this one choke point between Capital City and Fuel Depot. Of course there is more than one of these towers around the map, as there is one right next to Skyhook and one of course right next to the train yard. However, this one in between Capital City and Fuel Depot in my opinion is just slightly too overpowered. If a good team gets to the top of this tower, they will gatekeep you, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it unless you get some really far distance and have a weapon capable of shooting from a long distance. A team can hold the top of this tower absolutely no problem, especially if they have a Watson or a Caustic, which most of the time they will likely have, and it is impossible to push them as there is only 2 zip lines to the top of this tower, and if you go to the top on these zip lines you will be beamed down instantly. I just think this tower is slightly too powerful, as you just cannot get a team off of there unless they jump by themselves and by their own choice. They can stay up there for as long as they want. Personally, this is a little too powerful for me, and I would like to see this tower come down, maybe for something else to come in its place, or for some more cover in between this already tight choke point. But moving on, I do think the area on the north of the map next to Refinery should be filled with a few more constructs. Now, I obviously know that, of course, you cannot fill the map entirely with buildings, but just a few cars or loot bins along this north of the map would go down a treat, because at the moment there's a whole load of wide open land with absolutely nothing there, and I just think fill this with something, even if it's a car with a couple of shield cells and maybe a gun inside, or just something to make players venture out into this area, because right now this area for me is a big space which is being wasted. Another area I think is subject to change in Season 4 would actually be the train yard. Respawn do like to change key areas of the map, as we saw in Season 2 when the cage was added almost centrally to the map, as well as whole towns and cities such as Cascades being wiped out by the Leviathans, and I don't think it's too far-fetched to see the train yard to be the next place to receive some big changes. Of course, the train yard is just a big junkyard of used and old trains that have gone around the map, and of course over the course of Season 3 we have gone through a lot of trains, so I wouldn't put it past Respawn adding a few more of the old used trains in and around the train yard to add some much needed loot pools to the area, as in my opinion there are so many people that drop here, yet there is not enough loot to go around, so I can see a couple more train carts being added into the train yard. But guys, that's all I've got for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. Make sure you comment down below what changes you would like to see come to the map in Season 4. These were just my ideas and what I actually think might happen in Season 4 to the map, going off of what we've seen in previous seasons. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content. But until next time guys, it's been your boy Ashton. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Goodbye.